Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first AR or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley. I am joined tonight by my co-host Joe.
Good evening, everybody.
And with us, we have our very special friend who is back, returned with us once again. The one, the only, the infamous Dave from High Point, who has an amazing gun model with him.
What's up, guys? Yeah, my son decided he wanted to help me get the guns out the bag for me. So yeah, should we see how long he'll stand there holding it like that?
I mean, that would be impressive.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, indeed. So, guys, I know that in the Rumble chat, there's already a bunch of conversation going on, and I promise we are going to speak to that a little bit here as we come forward. We're not going to cover it at length tonight because we have something a lot more fun to talk about as we get into things, and that is going to be some new offerings from Dave. Yeah. Like, that's one where I'm going to admit that one kind of shocked me when I saw it. I did not have that on the bingo card.
Dude, that's like the recurring comment I'm hearing is people did not have an AR-15 from High Point on the bingo card for NRA. It's like, yeah, we know that was kind of the point.
Yeah, and that's when we get into. It's like, yeah, that is a thing, and then we'll eventually we'll be like, so High Point bought Delton.
Yeah, no.
But before we get into that, let's do our normal roundtable about if anyone did anything fun with guns this week. So, Garth, did you do anything fun with guns since you didn't get introduced?
Hi, sorry I'm late. My name's Garth. Is that
Garth.
Is this how these meetings work? I don't know. Yes, I did so many fun things. Hang on, let me change some things. I can't do it right now. Oh, hang on. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
Yes, you are.
Joe, how about you go circle back? How about that?
Okay. Joe?
I had a couple things. I went out to spearfish, to Prairie Thunder, to shoot an all classifier USPSA match. Saturday morning and afternoon. They ran 2 shifts again. So I shot the afternoon. Went pleasantly well until the last stage. The first 3 stages I definitely should have pushed harder and faster. The 4th stage I did really good at a 7.5. It was had a B classification for that one. And then the 5th stage I had a complete brain meltdown, and it was supposed to be single shots on target. I put 2 into the first 3 before I realized it. So that was a bummer. But I had a good day all in all. I know I definitely have to shoot faster and harder. With those, this weekend will be the class or the sectional over in Canton. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Sunday morning shot our National Guard outdoor match.
I am happy that's over.
Yeah, so I told my wife, well, that's done for another year. The end of the day results don't upset me, but my performance was actually worse than it was last year. I went and looked at the scores on the 7-stage match. I was 15 points down. And yeah, and so I knew it when I shot it. The pistol was meh. I could have shot better.
Okay.
But it is what it is. I'll get what I wanted partially out of it this year finally, but definitely, going back next year trying to crack higher into those scores. So
You know, your problem was, Joe.
What's that?
Your problem was you weren't shooting on 995.
You were running a High Point. What the hell, man?
It was fun. BSing with some of the other guys out there that shoot and stuff like that, especially on the guard side, is always a good time. So,
yep. So the Iowa match is this coming weekend. One of our listeners will be there. So that's awesome. Those tag matches, they are a really good time. And the reason why I say I am happy it's over is I had to run hours
Mm.
again. And but this time I had more than 6 hours of buildup. Like I actually had to set everything and run it all up and do some training with how to run matches, and didn't get it all dumped on me last minute. So it was more enjoyable that way, but it's just long days and reviewing all the scores and doing all of the logistics that is a large match like that for the military is a giant pain. I also shot it and did not put up scores that I wanted to, but I also was running the match on the line as I was shooting.
Yeah,
So
it's a whole other thing.
Some of the stuff we were getting into is like, okay, you need to call the time. What's the time? This is the time, and they call it, and I get like a second less than everyone else, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's a 3-second exposure.
Yeah, all I want to do right now, and I'm not technical enough to do it, but I just want to post the SpongeBob meme. Responsibility. Gun matches aren't as fun when you have to do that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a definite thing. So, Garth, we can circle back to you because I know Dave did all kinds of fun stuff.
Yes, I did so much fun stuff. Actually, if you look over your left shoulder, you'll see one of the fun things I have coming to me is a new 12 gauge shotgun, which I'm super stoked about.
Which is over my left shoulder.
Yeah, your left shoulder. That's what I said. Your left shoulder.
I want to know how many of the listeners went over my left. What? Garth behind me?
Yeah. Oh, I'm very sneaky. For a big guy, I'm super sneaky. Okay. Let's just put it that way. Second of all, yes, I've been doing so many things with guns. I've been swapping a whole bunch of red dots on all my pistols because red dots are now my jam, apparently, and I have to own all of them. So getting optics should basically just sponsor my entire gun safe at this point because most of them are. And I want to address something that AR Drew said. Yes, my gun wall is empty because unlike most gun tubers who put guns behind them and then don't go shoot them, I actually shoot my guns. So I didn't have time to put them back on my wall. They're in my safe in my garage. So unlike most guys, I actually shoot the stuff I have behind me. So that's up and that's what's going on there. But yes, I am building a new gun range at my farm and am currently deciding between a 30, 40, and 50-yard pistol bay. It just kind of boils down to how much dirt am I going to source from my farm. So right now I've got it set up for I've got one row of 30 yards of dirt, and it just we had a really nice 2-inch rain, so it's going to soften the ground up. And so this next week I'm going to go out there between farming and other things and try to source a little bit more dirt. And I can't decide what I'm going to build. I know what Nick and Joe want me to build because a 50-yard pistol bay would be awesome for what we're going to use it for. But do I want to put the effort in, basically, is what it comes down to. And the answer is probably yes, because 50 yards is superb for
in the long run, dude. You do, you do.
I in the long run, yes. I know I want to put a 50-yard bay out there. It's only 20 yards wide, but realistically, if you go to any public range, you're looking at like a 25 by 25, bay. So I don't think I'm losing any ground.
Like anything else, though, your garage, your kitchen, whatever you're building, you're never going to be mad that it's too big.
Exactly. Right. And so that's the whole premise behind it is, 20 yards by 50 yards long. Cool. Let's just do it. And I'm mad at myself because I'm going to lose ground on my rifle range. I'm going to go from 400 to probably 300 yards. But again, I'm not the long range guy, unlike the guys above me and probably to the right of me on screen. So that doesn't really upset me that I'm only going to be able to go 300 instead of 400 yards at my own place.
And Dirt Racer says, I seem to have lost your address, and 50 yard is the only option.
That's okay if you lost my address. If you've had my address, thank God, because I mean I know what I sent AR Drew a while back, and I don't need a whole bunch of those returning to me. So
don't worry, I know what it is.
Oh gosh. So yeah.
Now, Dave,
what's up, man?
What did you do with guns this week?
I've been tooling around with my Beretta 1301 lately because I've just kind of gotten on a shotgun kick because I've kind of gotten not tired of semi-auto rifles, but I kind of have. Like I've been AR guy forever, run the AKs, and
I feel that, man. Like there's something about the chunk of running out like a 9-round tube.
yes. And well, and
Tube.
add to it was I got into 3D printing in the last 6 months or so. And so I ended up printing like one of the shot shell caddies, you know, so you can grab a quad load and ram loads in, and doing that thing with the 1301 shotgun. It's just fun. It's just a shit ton of fun to do that with a shotgun. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take like a fighting shotgun class here sooner than later. Just because I've never done it before, you know.
I would love to take one. I know Garth has an irrational fear of degloving his thumb. That's why he won't run a tube-fed shotgun.
No, I have big. He got big fingers too. I have big fingers, and I know. Yeah, I know you got big fingers, but you also are good with them, you know, Dremel and stuff like that. And I just have this irrational fear that I'm going to stick my thumb in there and load a shotgun and pull it out, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh look, that's bone. Cool.
I mean, I totally get that, but at the same time, when you run something like the 1301 or the A300 that do have these massive wide mag wells on them, even the Mossberg 940s, they're so open, dude. You can just shuck shit in there. Like it's pretty safe and easy. Not like a Benelli or a Turcanelli. No, dude, you catch your shit all the time on those things because they're so tight.
I had a 930, and it still scared me.
And I have one.
I can help you.
I know how
most people would have just practiced nice and slow until they could go faster and faster.
But why practice when you can buy a mag-fed shotgun, which I now have, which is also not on the wall behind me because it's upstairs because I shoot it.
Because that's not the same thing as like shucking shells into that thing. It's just it's
yeah. I've watched both guys run stages, and the guys with the mag feds just look dumb. It's so much cooler when they're quad loading.
Yeah.
Strong hand, they're just throwing shit around.
And I'll say too, when you like grab rounds and you're chucking them in there like that, you kind of feel like a badass. Like it totally is channeling some John Wick vibe. You know, you're like, yes, this is so cool. You know, pow, get the match saber to throw that one in and drop the bolt. Oh, it's just
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Everyone watched John Wick too many times and they're like, oh, I can do that. I can be fast. You know what? I tried going fast. It doesn't work. Not for me. I know my skill set. Bye-bye. MagFed. Here we go.
That's all right. I'll respect
and then you get no argument with match directors about why can't I run a mag fed at this class?
First of all, I haven't had the argument yet because if I had, they wouldn't ask me to come back to the match.
See, that's where like I've like stepped back from like the super organized matches because of all the rules and regulations. I get it because it's a game, but it's like, what happens to just run what you've brought? You know what I mean? Like run what you have, and it's like. Give me outlaw matches anymore, like Kalashnikov or even like Moon's Out. I mean, just I don't know.
Have you heard about the South Central Handgunners?
Yeah, have you heard about our club? You should really come to Pierce, South Dakota, because we don't give up about anything.
Yes, actually, you should come because I believe we may have a title sponsor for our PCC match in September.
That would be legendary.
I feel like we could do it for the one
when in September.
Now have them available.
When in September?
2017.
It'd be the 21st.
I was like, watch this. It is on for
September 21st.
Okay, that might be possible.
Breakfast Club fist pump right there.
Oh, but we're not here to talk about. We're not here to talk about shotguns or other things. We're here to talk about Meshtastic radios and the current project that I'm working on with Sean. No, not at all. That's not what we're here to talk about.
You had my attention. I'm like, okay, because I was listening to talking about that the other day. I was like, this is kind of interesting.
Did you get those yet?
So I already had some.
Okay.
And I ordered more that are smaller and easier to use.
I have one coming.
Well, before I drop $200 or $300, can we figure out if the system works and then I'll order the
they do.
Okay.
But, you can use mine first and we can go to GunCon with it and do that there. And then you can order more.
What? So you're saying you're going to lose me at GunCon? I'm going to need a radio to find you?
No, I'm saying it's.
I'll help you go.
So, now, what this is more. We've been places where we might run into problems with cell phone networks working.
Yeah.
because they get overloaded. So if you're running Meshtastic and you have a mesh node on you, it hooks to your cell phone, but it does line of sight. And then everyone else who has a Meshtastic node acts as a repeater for
That's
everyone in
cool.
your group. So like up to 13 kilometers, which is, about 5 miles. Actually, it's a little over 5 miles, but you'd be able to reach in optimum conditions from point to point. But every node in the area will pick up and act as a repeater and send that out. So it's like a mesh network it's its own little mini cell phone network.
Yeah.
And
Which I can tell you, like the range that GunCon's going to be at, I've been there multiple times for different events, and their service is spotty out there. Like there are spots where you get coverage, other spots it's a dead zone. There's nothing there.
And
But
it's
when you
only
do-
really going to be good to talk with each other. We're not going to be able to text home.
yeah, it's not
Right.
texting home,
Yeah,
but it's
Right.
Direct
contacting with
communication
each other.
those of us in the
Yeah,
group.
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat what you can do with it. It'll do mapping, and you can send stuff back and forth off the grid. And like if you're somewhere where there's no cell phone service, you can go back and forth with that. And then if you're really high speed, we can get into ATAC. But that's a whole nother conversation for another
Yeah.
day.
No,
No,
we need
that's
to do
cool.
an episode just on
ATAC. Non-standard comms.
non-standard communication.
Just meet back at the tactical minivan at 9:30.
That's called a rally point.
Yeah,
And we do have a sweet minivan for GunCon.
can't
shit.
wait.
You'll
Oh
think,
shit.
Yeah.
You'll think we should have got a Tesla.
I'm gonna get some knee-high socks.
I thought about it. There was like 3 available, but then I looked at the price of them, and I went,
Dude,
I'm not paying
no.
$1,000 to rent a Cybertruck.
No, you and I have rode in the back of a Tesla, and the driver asked us how the ride was, and I said, well, if I didn't have my ball cap on, I wouldn't feel like I have a splitting headache because the pin just kept smacking the back window.
But that wasn't the reason why we wanted them.
No. The reason
It
we
was
wanted
more
one
so we
is,
could see if we could
it's like
find
a bait.
some
It's like a
like,
bait
trolling
baiting
for
ritual.
No,
But,
I get the whole reason, but no.
Instead, we got a sweet Honda Odyssey.
Oh
That
yeah.
seat 8 people. But
No, it's not a short bus. AR Drew.
no. So Dave, not long ago, High Point had some exciting news.
Mm.
Yeah.
And some might say late to the party. Some might say right on time.
I said right on time.
Some might say ahead of the game. But you dropped a new product that I think everyone has said was not on their bingo card.
Indeed, it was not.
And when we talked about you might be dropping something cool, I originally thought like it was going to be a roller delayed 995.
Okay, that would be cool. I mean,
Like that's where my brain went because I was like, all right, that'd be rad.
Make sure next year when that drops, you get some compensation for that, Dooley.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was never here.
there's an engineer in the back with that Keltrek train rolling up, going, "All right, yeah, we can do that." And
I'm sure there probably is.
but
Oh, man.
no, so, but no, you guys, High Point launched their own AR,
Yeah, we launched 3 actually.
and I am excited.
Good. I mean, like, it's funny. I can't say that I'm shocked that you're excited because the general reception from everybody at NRA was everybody was excited to see that thing. Everybody was totally into it, and also had the whole "what the hell" kind of reaction to us. Like, you're doing an AR? Like, yeah, we are. You know,
Like I don't know how happy. Like this makes my heart so happy for all of the things I can do.
Like, my real question is, are we allowed to take 3 of them home when we come over there?
You have Dooley's address and his FFL number.
Yeah, but if we're gonna be there, it's a lot easier just to take them with us.
So unfortunately, I don't know what our ETA release date is. I don't know when I'll have even writer samples ready. I mean, we're saying it'll be like June, could be like middle of June, could be end of June. So obviously, GunCon, I will have guns for GunCon there, so you guys will get to shoot them there.
Awesome. Yes.
But I don't know. Trust me, everybody's going, oh, when can I get a sample of one? I'm like, I don't know. As soon as I have them, I can get you one.
Well, just remember what we were talking about before we went live. For the right price, I mean, that thing's going to be awesome.
For the low price of the over the pants handy.
We can probably be bought with bottles of whiskey. We're not that expensive.
Yeah, like realistically, a decent bottle would probably pay for us. So,
well, God, in that sense, you guys are kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Have you met us?
We know our worth.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a question I throw out there is: do you want to see them? Do you want to see two of them?
Absolutely.
We definitely want to see them. Let's
full screen this baby. Yes.
We're going to turn this over to you and tell us about what.
Hold on, for anybody that's paying attention, these are the mock-ups.
Yeah, these are definitely not proper firing. These are mock-ups.
Nope, these are the same things we had at the NRA show. So yeah, these don't.
They're non-firing replicas. But I do love the fact that has
get that roll mark in there.
The roll mark in there, and the EOTech with the is that an Engel on the front end?
No, I just threw the EOTech on there. That's for some photos I haven't taken yet. And on the end, I'm running the Hollow Sun.
Oh, the Hollow Sun
Iris 2 or 3, whatever the hell the new one is.
When I first glanced at it, I was like, "Wait, was that an Engel or was that?"
Yeah, no, those are. I just threw those on there for get some cool photos because I need to get some. These are not on the website yet, so I'm working on getting them on the website.
So for anyone who is listening to this, as we ooh and ah on an audio podcast,
right.
What we have in front of us is High Points AR, which is M-Lock handguards. One thing I do think that was neat. When you looked at the stock as that came up, anyone who paid attention as that carbine stock came up, it has one thing that is unique because it has a QD right in front of the adjustment lever.
Yeah,
which
that was
so you're getting your M4 basic M4 classic stock, but with a QD socket in it, which is actually pretty damn cool. I think
it is.
Why isn't that a standard?
No, that should be a standard,
right?
No, like that is exactly what it is. And I mean, the only thing that would make that look any better would be the fact is if you would have put it and had come factory with VZ grips, because the unique feature of VZ grips is they're machined from a solid brick of G10, and G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get muddy slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme, as well as color options and shorty versions are also available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard swim palm styles, thumb notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available, and there's one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips, and that code is AR15 podcast.
Yes, I watched Goodbye YouTube. That's okay.
Now I want to see if we're still streaming on it.
I don't care.
So this one I'll go over. This one is
absolutely.
Obviously, this is our rifle, so it's a 16-inch setup, run A2 birdcage. Because you know what, long time ago I kind of had the opinion it was like, man, when companies put A2 birdcage on the gun, it's like, couldn't you put something better? But then the more I started shooting at night without a suppressor on, the A2 birdcage, man, like it's pretty damn effective. There's a lot of other ones out there, but as well as this thing works, it's solid.
Well, that's what it is. It's a flash hider. Like it's tactically, that's what it is. That is what it is built for. So,
but I mean, we all get sucked into the marketing though of like this cooler flash hider, that cooler flash hider, and sure, maybe they look cool, but like the effectiveness and the cost of the A2 just fits with our platform, what we're doing. So like I said, this thing is a 16-inch barrel. We're running a 15-inch M-Lock free-floated forend with obviously Picatinny rail across the top, so you can mount all your doodads and gadgets like I've done here. Standard aluminum on your uppers and lowers, because I had some people ask us if it was a polymer lower. We're like, no, we're not pulling crap like that. This thing is an AR-15 in every sense of the word. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's pretty plain Jane, but that's kind of the point. We want to give you a blank slate to build up to however you want. And the notion all of this came from when you bought a High Point, let's say 995 carbine, and that was your first entry into like a rifle, even PCC or whatever. If you want to go beyond that into rifle calibers, we didn't give you any options. You're going to be left going to somebody else. You're going to go into any other brand, pick one. Now at this rate, getting into the AR market, it's crowded. There's a lot out there, but we're giving you something to elevate from the 995 carbine into an AR, into 223, and it's ready to go, or modify the crap out of it if you want to. So it's not a bad gig. But going along with that, so like I said, we had the rifle. We had 3 models we dropped. The rifle, and then 2 10.5-inch barrel pistols. One 300 blackout, one in 5.56. They'll come with a shockwave blade brace, or you can get them just buffer tube if you want to put your own on. Otherwise, same upper and lower. This is a 300 blackout, so it's running a pistol length gas, whereas the 5.56 pistol and the rifle both run carbine length gas, still A2 bird cage. But yeah, I mean, it's a standard AR as kind of far as ARs go, but it's ready for you to throw an optic, sling, light, laser, or change it all out. But the kicker on all of them, MSRP we're shooting for is sub $500.
Nice.
Yeah,
That
and
is
that's
awesome.
That's what I appreciate about what you said earlier about a clean slate. We had John on from the Gun Collective a few weeks ago, and we talked about the standard of what an AR should be, and all these companies are, I think, overcharging on their ARs and stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'd rather go out and buy the $500 AR, because then I can modify it the way I want to.
Right.
And I can't tell you how excited I am to purchase the 10.5 5.56, because realistically, I've been wanting to get back into another AR pistol. I had like 8 at one time. Now I have like 2 because I sell and trade like it's no one's business. But to have a high point, I think just is a exciting thing, because high points were always known for their PCCs and
Right.
their pistols, and now it's a new corner of the market. I mean, I don't think I don't want to be rude when I say this. It's not like you guys are revolutionizing the AR-15 by any means.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But to have the stamp of the High Point logo on an AR-15, and people go, why? Because it's badass, man. Let's just get it out there. This is a cool gun. If you guys can't see the innovation that High Point has done over the last few years,
I will tell you this: when they first came out and started to talk, when they first brought out the YC9, the E cannon,
yeah.
When that first came out, I remember I walked up and looked at it, like the 3D printed rendering that was bolted.
God, that was from 2019. Yeah.
bolted to the stand in the middle. And Dave, I think that would have been the first time I actually talked to you, and I was just an asshole in a cowboy hat.
Probably.
And they came up and said something, and or somebody made a smart ass comment, and I said, "What? It's still more innovative than Glock. At least these all of these come optics ready and threaded." and
I remember that. I do remember that too.
As long as you guys don't get into watches and horses, we'll be okay.
No, we'll stay in lane. We'll stick with firearms. We're good with that.
Yep. And YouTube did kill us, which is fine.
Good.
Awesome.
So we'll download this and upload it later. But
You suck, YouTube.
Yeah. And that's too bad, because we were just going to get started getting paid by them.
Well,
oh well, it would have been hundreds of tenths of a cent.
Right. Eventually, I'd like to think eventually one day YouTube will get its head out of its ass and realize that showing the stuff on here isn't hurting anybody, and they'll actually.
What is the difference between showing it live
that's
and running it back?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't get that at all.
The I can tell you that they got into a bunch of trouble over the Christchurch incident.
Oh yeah, and the guy was streaming it when he went in.
So a guy streamed a mass shooting to YouTube, and so now they have their bots, and it's like, oh, if you see a gun, they're like, we don't want to be that organization again, and they block it off.
I mean, technically, this could sound horrible, but isn't that considered free speech?
Well, it was, but
they're
not the government. New Zealand.
They're not the government.
I mean, it is, but you're still using
is the government shutting you down, not a private entity.
Right. Because I mean, in the end, we're using a company's thing. We all signed the ULA with the shitty lawyer text that we didn't read. I mean,
and that's not what we're here to talk about.
America can read at a 3rd grade level. We'll print all them or write all them at a graduate level.
So
that's why I hate lawyers.
they suck all the fun out of everything. They really do.
They do.
But so when we get through here, like, I do love the fact that you have that basic carbine stock, with the QD point in it because
Yeah, the QD makes it more something you'll hold on to maybe a little bit longer.
yeah, well, and
100%.
as someone who has quite a bit of time behind an M4 stock, that QD point is like means a lot to me.
That's awesome.
No, seriously, like those stock, I'm not like a super fan of the stocks, but because of the mounting point on there,
Right.
it makes me consider going, hold up now, because
Right.
realistically, to buy a Magpul stock like that, you're going to spend like $70 to $100 depending on where you buy it from, or you're going to have to buy an add-on for $30 to $40 depending on where you
Right.
buy it from. And to have that on the gun as a standard item is fantastic.
Yeah, I know we're still like, you know, I'll cut the bullshit out of it. So right now we're not building these things. We are sourcing the parts from different manufacturers to our spec.
Yep.
Our guys are doing the final assembly. Eventually we'll start machining everything in house because we machining with the high points. Very little and next to nothing is outsourced to the high points. So eventually, yeah, these will all be made completely 100% in house. You know, we'll get there, baby steps. But one of the things that came up, hit my mic there. One of the things that came up was one of the guys asked me, was like the stock. He's like, man, I can get like the plain Jane M4 style stock a little bit cheaper than this one. And I was like, no, dude. I literally said, because it has that QD in there, that makes this stock 10 times better than what it is, because you can immediately click something in and it's on the receiver as well, on the forend or handguard.
Yep.
I was like, no, that QD is actually a pretty worthwhile thing. So I love honestly hearing the reception people going, dude, that's awesome. That's a QD socket and M4 stock. That's badass.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
superb.
it comes down to like a lot of things. When you buy an AR, like a standard DI AR, there's a couple things that are just going to be expected, right? We expect them to run, and we expect them to. Honestly, we're probably going to expect it to be overgassed, not because it's like, oh, High Point's going to overgas the gun, because realistically, almost every factory gun is overgassed,
Right.
and that is because you can't guarantee that everyone is going to shoot Black Hills 77 grain match through them. You know that they're going to be Garth and buy shitty Russian Tula or whatever else.
What's wrong with that?
And
Yeah, first of all, what is wrong with that? But second of all, I know the reference you're talking about now, and I laugh at that because that's funny.
and so you have to build a rifle that will cycle everything. So in order to do that, you have to overgas them a little bit. And that's not a bad thing. That's just the nature of the beast. And like, yeah, you can take off and put adjustable gas blocks and do everything else and start playing with things. Or you can just pick it up and run it and beat it like a redheaded stepchild. And I mean, that's what I generally do. But
and that's been kind of one of like the very few, I won't say negative connotations, but is a negative. People were commenting mostly on Reddit, little on X, but others. But they'd go, "Is 2025 really? We can't do better than a carbine gas?" And other people going, "Jesus, it's gonna be overgassed to hell." I'm like, dude, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but carbine gas works. It works because you know what, me, of all the crap that I have in my safe, what do I buy? I buy the cheapest shit I can find because I'm slinging a bunch of lead down range. If I really find a need to actually buy some really high-end stuff to really dial my rifle in, sure, I'll do that. But 9 times out of 10, I'm shooting the cheapest shit I can find, and most people do the same thing. Just let the gun run.
Well, it's 99% of users out there are not, taking these into an austere environment.
Yeah.
They're putting it at the safe. They're going to pull it out. We're going to mag dump into trash. We're going to do some fun with it. And that's realistically what it is. You might have some guys shooting competition. Some, like you'll get into, 5% of gun owners take training classes.
Yeah.
And
You say that high?
well,
I wouldn't less than that.
No, I wouldn't say that high.
I say that as a lot of states that require the concealed carry class.
That's not training. Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
But the point is there though, like a lot of gun owners aren't looking. They're not going into specifics about the grain and the feet per second and stuff like that. They're going, okay, I just bought this gun for $500 to $700. What can I buy and still not break the bank, where I can go out and have a fun day at the range? And if your gun can't run the trash, why would you put the good stuff? I mean, obviously, I'll go buy the good stuff, and that's all I'll run. Well, like Dave said, I'm the same way. I'll buy the garbage ammunition because, hey, I can get 2,000 rounds over there versus 500 over there. So I'm going to do that. And if it works on the trash, then I'm super happy because a lot of my ammunition for 223 is steel and not so dirty ammo.
How's that saying work? If it can't shoot steel, it doesn't deserve brass.
You beat me to it, damn it.
Yes.
Because I've shot we used to import the Barnwell ammo, so I've shot a metric ton of steel cased ammo, and people want to cry about how no good it is. I just go, cry me a bloody river. I don't care, dude. I put more through it than most people have ever thought of, and guess what? My guns are fine.
Sorry,
I'm pretty sure all them AKs everybody love and shoot are.
But that's different though, because AKs it's different. An AR, you don't put steel through an AR.
Oh yeah, you do.
I do. I do.
It's like all the idiots that cry about putting 91 in their motorcycle that'll run just fine on 87.
Actually, I love shooting steel at matches just for that point. So when the brass bunnies go out there and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take all your brass," and they're like, "Who the hell is shooting steel?" I'm like, "That's me." Why? So you can't steal.
I've been to the same matches you have. Yeah. We don't have brass bunnies. We have brass goblins.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. You're right. We don't have bunnies because, we have one female that shoots with us, and
God bless her. She has to pick hers up because it's different than, I mean, if I was shooting what they were shooting, I'd be picking it up too.
I probably would too.
The ones that are picking up all of our 9mm, it's like in our,
Well, yeah. I don't even think they pick up most of theirs, do they?
Was it 38? They do.
The 38 Super?
I'm pretty sure they go back and.
Well, I'm usually on my second class, and they're done and leaving the range, so I'm not sure.
But no. So let's get back into. So High Point has always been around, and we know that they've made pistols that some people would argue about quality on, but they always go bang, and they're made for people who need a gun no matter what.
Maybe everybody.
I have to need a gun. You know what else you need? You need good quality holsters. Yep. If you're in need of a reliable custom Kydex holster, Klecker Tactical is your one-stop shop using premium USA source material. Klecker Tactical will build you a holster in a variety of styles along with light and laser options. Whether you're in law enforcement, a competitive shooter, or an everyday gun enthusiast, trust Klecker Tactical will provide every firearm owner has access to top-tier personalized holster as you feel well with quality and products you can't find anywhere else. Use code AR15podcast for 10% off at KleckerTactical.com.
Dave, I have to tell you this story real quick. Joe and I went to a match a couple weeks ago out in Spearfish, South Dakota, and we were shooting it. And this kid walked up to me. I'm like, I know you look familiar. He was the kid that won the High Point that you would graciously gave us for our match last year. And he was like, dude, I still have that gun, and I'm actually going out and I'm getting a custom holster done for it right now. And I'm going to Gucci the hell out of this thing. It's going to be pink. I might even actually put some like carpet on it. Like he wanted to do shag carpet on the holster because he goes, it's a High Point. It's actually a really cool gun. I want to Gucci the hell out of this holster because people are going to look at it and go, why? He goes, it runs, man. You can't argue the point that it runs. And he was so stoked. I'm like, man, you have to come to our match in June and shoot that thing. He's like, well, I might have a wedding, but if I don't, I will be there with that holster. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. So
that's awesome. Yeah, he was the holster.
I do too. Like, I need to reach out to him because I think I have his email somewhere on my phone. But yeah, he was so stoked and so happy when he saw me and told me the whole story that the High Point, and he was like, man, this gun just is functional and runs. And I'm so happy to have won it. So thank you so much for
awesome. That. No, that's absolutely awesome. I love hearing that.
Especially since there were so many people that were like, you'd have thought they were like, it was sacrilegious to touch it. They didn't even want to fire it.
It was so weird.
That's the shit that kills me. Those guys that those kind of people are what kill me and annoy me anymore is that kind of shit because I love the NRA show Gun Con anytime where I see the public because how many guys come up and they go, dude, I own X Gucci guns, whatever, but my first gun was my High Point. Some still have it. Some of them passed it on, which is fine, but they're like, they have no shame going back going, hell yeah, it was my first gun because I could afford that thing and it ran every time. And I'm going, yeah, I know, dude. Mm-hmm. You don't make a piece of shit for 35 years and stay in business. I mean, you just don't.
Glock is, but
oh come on, they're fine. They're just a gun. They're a gun.
Yeah.
Now Nick can attest.
They don't have
How many
near as many
how many
boat
high
anchors.
points go off randomly in holsters?
Never heard of one.
Oh, shots fired, Joe. Shots fired. That's funny. But no, Nick can attest to what I said about Glock, though. Like, I was the Glock fan. I was one of the biggest Glock fanboys around. So I'm just saying.
Dr. Scary Guy says, if you won't ride a mower and shoot a high point, we can't be friends.
With birdshot, because you're shooting snakes, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
No,
cycle snake shot
I,
high point.
ish. You know, I have seen a high speed footage of a high point filled or shooting black powder.
Yes, I've seen that. Well,
Yeah,
I've seen a video of that. Yes.
I know the guys who made that video.
Oh my god. Okay. Interesting.
But
Hey, another thing. I'll plug something since you have me on here. Besides the ARs, because these are coming out in June, we actually just started shipping our 995P, which is our large format pistol. We take the carbine, we chopped it down to a 13-quarter-inch barrel, Picatinny rail on the back end, or you can get it with an AR buffer tube and a brace. But we just started shipping those like last week. So like the first batch of those, I think we've already blown through those pretty quickly. So it's kind of been a decent little summer gun for us to release, because summer usually sucks for gun sales. But yeah, 95P is shipping, and I think that we're expecting the 45s end of June, and the 10 mils are probably gonna be right behind that one too. So yeah, so that's
now
6 new guns kind of coming soon or shipping.
the other thing I thought that may have happened was, besides the AR release, would have been the double stack PCCs.
No, God, dude, that would be awesome. Like, no, don't get me wrong, that would be awesome. Something like that is probably still a ways off. So,
Like, I saw the face made there. He's like, oh, he's gonna say the thing.
Stop saying the quiet part out loud.
my mind was honestly going a couple different areas. I thought maybe you either go like that or like a Glock or an AK or
No, like so gun community, gather round, listen to Uncle Dooley as I sit here and say,
Story time.
we have enough Glock Gen 3s.
But Dooley, don't we have enough AR-15s too?
No, definitely not. No, we definitely need more ARs.
I mean, my life is half complete, because now I'm going to purchase a high point AR, and when Glock does the same thing, actually, when the Glock chrome plated revolver comes out, then my life will be complete. But yeah,
Now you're talking. Yeah, and something else I'll share with you guys too is, besides obviously showing these things off, people being excited for the ARs at NRA, the immediate question I was asked from everybody, from media to the public to other manufacturers, was, are you going to do just strip lowers? And we were like, no, we're not doing that right now. No, we're not doing that. Not doing that. Well, we're going to do it. When? Don't ask me that one. It might be a while. We might wait till like these things kind of plateau in sales and go, hey, do you want an AR lower? Here you go. Build your own, configuration with AR with a high point lower.
5-axis
so yeah.
To
machine.
stay on
goes
brand, they're going to
brrr.
be like $30.
No comment.
all right. Well, Dave, here's the question for you then.
Yeah.
Since you guys have a few that you bring into shows and stuff like that, how much time do you have at the range with one? What are you guys putting on them? Like, how are they functioning on the range? What are you seeing with them and things of that nature?
Right now I have 0. All I've done is putting my stuff on it for some photos.
Okay.
This bolt actually has no firing pin. Well, it's a clipped one for the shows. I was actually going to throw one of my bolts in here. I was trying to go out and shoot today, and I just realized it's an hour drive out one way and back, and I realized I wasn't going to make it back to be on here in time, so I just didn't shoot. But actually, I'm meeting up at the factory here in a few days, and we've got 10 rifles, 10 5.56 pistols, and 10 300 blackout pistols, and we're going to be doing a lot of T&E of our own, seeing what they're doing, and see how much abuse we can put through them with different ammo and stuff. So they'll be forthcoming, but right now, nothing. I have
Okay, that's fair. Well, I appreciate it. So
it's that new.
No, I get it, and we're excited to see those reviews. I'm sure on YouTube and your guys' websites and everything like that, because super stoked to see how they function and form. So
Yeah, and like I said, I really was hoping to get out even just today, just so I could say, yeah, I shot this thing, and dude, what a shocker! It's an AR and it runs, and it runs well. But nope, didn't happen. So maybe
yeah,
next
that's fair.
couple days. But
If any company at this point decides to build an AR-15 and it doesn't fire, you did something seriously wrong.
right? I mean,
you're not reinventing the wheel. It's like if you go build a 1911, it's gonna work. Like,
yeah.
I mean, have you ever shot a Vector before?
But a Vector, I have not. But a Vector is a completely different gun. I get that. Like
it is. I'm just saying, but like,
oh, they run. They run. They have no problem running. They have a problem breaking firing pins. The 9mm ones do.
3 of them.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
I still kind of want one. I think they're cool.
I recall someone. I wonder
Changing
who that
them.
was.
This guy above me
Fixing them and then making comments and being like, "Hey, so I figured out what the problem is here," and then I spent like an hour and a half talking to an engineer explaining what the problem was.
Damn.
And then they made a fixed version. And then that one broke too. And I called them again and I said, "You didn't implement what we talked about." And he goes, "They said it would cost too much." And I said, "Well, and that's why it broke."
Oh.
And then I sold that gun to a buddy and he went through 2 of them too. So
And aren't they on like their 3rd or 4th generation of that gun now too? I think they are, because I still kind of want to try one. I think they're cool.
So Dr. Scary Guy says, stupid comments aside, how do mags like Red Ball affect legal statuses when some places try to ban guns that have the ability to accept mags of 10 rounds?
I mean, if you can't run 20-round mags, then you're kind of screwed. You're going back to run the 10-round mags that are factory. I mean, I prefer to run the 20s because they stick out more, so you can grab them for insertion and extraction of the magazine. But yeah, if you're like Tony Simon, he's in Jersey, he can't have this 20-round Red Balls. In Jersey, you can only have the 10-round mags, and then New York is a mess of shit that I couldn't even tell you what's going on with that. And same with California. If you can't have high cap mags, you can't have high cap mags, but everybody else that can, yeah, the Red Balls are the way to run them. They really are.
So it's move out of communism and into free America.
If you can do that, yeah.
But for those of you, in occupied territory, remember that the chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall.
The geese are flying south for the winter.
John has a long mustache.
Is it hot in Chad?
Yeah, you're talking about the wrong movies.
No, I'm talking about the greatest movie. Well, it's not. It's like top 20 in the Army.
Now we have another one here. So you missed the question, but barrel sizes, twist rate, and rifling.
Oh,
so
shit.
I know that we have pretty much they're doing air pistols and 16 inch.
Yeah, pistols are 10.5. The rifle is 16. The rifles run a 1-8 twist. The pistols, I got a sheet here I'm looking at. I think both pistols are 1-7. Yeah, both pistols are 1-7. What else do they want?
That would about cover it. Oh, no, and rifling, which they're button rifled, I'm guessing.
Let's see. I believe so. I don't have that info listed on here. So there you go.
Chrome lime, carbon fiber, right?
Yeah, carbon fiber. Yeah. $500. Yeah, you bet they're carbon fiber barrels, man. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this carbon fiber. Look at that. You see that? Yeah, that's carbon fiber barrel. All right.
I'm so sorry. I saw Nick's eyes roll back into his skull, and I enjoyed that so much.
I might be the last or the only anti-chrome line barrel on the guy on the planet.
We were talking about this the other day about some of this.
There is. It's called machine guns.
But the biggest problem you run into though is you've got too many people who don't know any better, and they only listen to their 5 favorite YouTubers who they have clout and status of what they are, but do they really know jack shit of shit? I don't really know. And so what they say, it's the gospel to them. So if you do something that's not chrome line, they're all pissed off in a tizzy. Well, it's like HK's new MR556 is not a chrome line barrel, and people had a bloody meltdown about it. Say HK goes fine. You now have a lifetime warranty on your barrel. If you shoot that thing out, we'll replace it for free because you're so worried about chrome lining. You know, it's just like that's cool. That's cool. They
We
stand
said
by
that. We said the same thing last week when we were talking to
Drew Walker.
Drew.
Yep.
The Tommy Boy quote. You don't need a guarantee. I mean, the guarantee doesn't mean anything. They'll guarantee it if they know it's going to last because they aren't going to have to use it. Like,
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it?
So as I watched what says, I still like my chrome barrel for my range toy with the FRT. Other than that, not needed. And yes, it's chrome line barrels. Like I said, they do have a place, and it's in machine guns. They don't make things more accurate. The only time that they really shine is when you're getting extreme heat. Other than that, a nitride barrel, you're going to get just as much longevity and probably better accuracy.
You know what?
like you said earlier, how many of these rifles get bought and ever even through a lifetime, 1,000 rounds through them?
Yeah.
Let
Most
alone
don't.
burn out a barrel.
Yeah,
I mean, you could make them out of clay and they'd probably be fine.
That's actually the worst pet peeve I have as
Clay
a guy
barrel?
who's as a guy who sells guns on the regular. Every time I sell a gun, they go, "Well, how many rounds does it have through it?" More than you'll probably shoot in your lifetime, buddy. And I've only shot like 100 through this gun or 500 on this one. It's just I didn't like it. But that's their first question. Like they're gonna go out and amply shoot.
It's the same as saving miles on your pickups, like not fucking your wife because you want to save her for the next guy. Like, come on.
Well, I just want to know what people would say if I tried to sell them like one of my Berettas. How many rounds?
Is there any rifling left? Is there any rifling left in your Berettas?
No, they're all smoothbore.
That's what I say.
One's on its second or third barrel.
That was my next question: is how many barrels have they been through?
Yeah.
I know that they're all definitely on 2 or 3 different spring sets, but it's one of those where I'm like what? I'm like, how many rounds into it? I don't know. I did 5,000 last year.
Right.
Wait, you mean you got to replace parts on these things?
Oh, and that there's another thing like that kills me with today with the internet is people they buy whatever AR, whether it's a $500 AR or a $2,000 AR, and it comes down to wait, I got to replace shit. Yeah, man, shit wears out. Shit dies.
You pay $100,000 for your car. You still got to change the oil and put new tires on.
Right. It's like,
Well,
stop thinking these things will last forever just the way they are. I mean,
you guys are going to make me start talking about gas rings.
Oh God.
and I'm going to be like, really? Dusky asked how many rounds did that Beretta barrel last? Somewhere around 10,000. I had to change one out.
Damn. So I guess you like the 92 a little bit, just a little bit.
I was a huge fan of it for a long time. I still have several. I switched when the Army did because of reasons.
Sure.
But I do love. There's like I was an early adopter of the Die Hard lifestyle.
Yep.
And Die Hard and Lethal Weapon were my jam.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Oh, I gotta think for many of us, Jesus. It's the whole reason I want a 92 is because of those two movies. I mean,
and now Nick's getting too old for that shit in the Army.
Go for this shit.
I've become full circle.
Oh yeah.
But no, I still will one day own my MP5 so I can watch Die Hard with my MP5 on one side and my Beretta 92 on the other. And just sit there and go, all right, yep, this is a thing.
I don't know why he's telling this story because he's literally sent me Snapchats of him watching Die Hard and then him holding his Beretta and petting it like a cat.
I'm pretty sure at Christmas I actually took all my furniture and swapped it to be as close to as Die Hard as possible and had it on Christmas Eve, because like right now I got the B&T Tri-Rail on it. I've got the Lee Sporting lower with super safety in it. No, I had to put the HK lower back on it, put the classic handguard on it, put the collapsing stock on it. Just while I was watching Die Hard, because like Die Hard, baby.
It feels right.
That's right. It feels right. Even if it's got a red dot on, taking that off, it's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, it has a claw mount to it.
Yep.
No, I totally understand, and that is very much so, part of the ethos.
Yeah.
But no, I do know that we did have one question here that I don't know a lot about, and it was, what do you think of spiral gas rings? And I have not used the one-piece helical gas ring. I would have high hopes for them. One thing I would say is, as a manufacturer, I can see how they would be, as an armorer, I can see how they would be amazingly beneficial, because you no longer have people going, I want the lines to line up. Why don't and because their CDO gets in the way of them, and they are like, oh, I know, I want the lines to look pretty. And that screws it up, because they have to be offset. So having a one-piece set of gas rings that spiral, I can see the benefit there. I don't know how they would act for longevity.
Right.
But
Nice.
now I'm intrigued, and we'll have to start looking into this.
So
Get
$4.
some and
What?
see what happens.
They're $4.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I mean, I'll give that shit a shot. Why not?
I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. And I see that a variety of people make them, so I watched what. Thank you for that. I had not seen them, but
No, that's a noon on me.
I am intrigued. So first you had my attention. What is it? Now you have my interest.
You're right. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
But no, you know what else is interesting? Awesome stickers. And if you need awesome stickers, like our Steamboat Willie, or our Based Bluey, you can go to Sticker Phantom and get them. You can get all kinds of stickers that you need. They produce all of our stickers, and you can get yours for 10% off with code AR Podcast at stickerphantom.com.
Sweet.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. And I watch what says, I have seen them, but I haven't touched them. That's why I haven't bought any. Or I haven't bought any. So I understand entirely. Like, I'm definitely intrigued by this.
Yeah, there's so many companies making so many newer things that are like really kind of nothing new. I've kind of quit paying attention to all this shit like that. So something like that, I would completely have glazed over it and not thought twice. But that's kind of cool. I'm kind of interested to check it out. I mean,
Well, like you said, for the price, I've spent
more for more dumb shit.
It's worth the test. What's it gonna hurt?
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those where well, I'm not going to go down that path, but we've been to certain types of establishments. and
where?
Not even those types of establishments. What'd you pay for that crappy old fashioned last week?
Oh God, that was terrible.
Like, you're home, make drinks.
Old fashions when I get drunk. So,
well, no, it's the old fashioned I had last weekend when Joe and I went out was literally one where he saw me make a face and take it like a shot.
Oh, thanks for the invite, guys. Real cool.
What's that?
You knew where we were.
Where?
We're in Rapid City.
We were at the Tinderbox.
You were invited to go to Spearfish and then you're hanging out.
So yeah, it was that weekend. Yeah, I couldn't go. Yeah. Tin Box is cool though.
But anyways, so Dave, I know we've been talking. Well, we've covered a lot tonight.
We have.
But
cool.
We keep coming back and talking about the ARs that you guys made. I'm excited for them. I genuinely am. Like, that's not me blowing sunshine. I am genuinely excited for these, because it's not just another AR on the market.
Right.
It's like everything High Point makes has a lifetime warranty.
Yep.
And that goes a long way. Now, you guys are fun, great to be around, good people, and solid company, and I expect the product to be solid as well.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else that you wanted to mention tonight? Anything else cool coming out? Roller delayed PCCs?
No roll delayed PCCs. No, the high points are the ARs kind of being the hot new thing.
Will it come in M81 Woodland?
Oh gosh.
So okay.
Or American flag, because I'm
Here's what I'll tell you. This is
dollar
this is promising nothing. This is promising nothing. I heard that dollar bill. This is promising nothing. But this is things that we've talked about since we obviously know we were getting into a crowded market. We obviously know, yes, we are partly riding on our own brand name reputation, to sell an AR-15. And here's the thing, and these guns being $500, these aren't the cheapest ARs out there. We're not trying to be the bottom of the barrel cheap ARs, because there's plenty more out there. We don't want that. We want to elevate you as a shooter going from $995 into something that's a little bit more. Hence, we're hitting like a $500 price point. But that all being said, we do hydro dipping and Cerakote in-house. We have for many, many years. All the hydro dipped high point carbines and pistols, we do it in-house. We have talked about there always being a possibility of doing M81 upper, lower, and handguard, doing small controlled runs, because dear God, there's too many brands that have gone crazy with colors and people laugh at it because there's 50 million color options. So we might do some very limited run like M81, or we've been playing around with the Desert Storm chocolate chip camo. Might do one even like that. I'm going to put a request in for my boy Tony Simon, because I got an invite to go take the high point rifle to Tactical Response, their fighting rifle class. And I told Tony, I was like, dude, you should come with me and do that, because he knows those people too. And he was like, yeah, I will. And he goes, but I need one in a money gun. And I went, I will ask if we can get you, get him $100 bill dipped upper, lower, and handguard. And then he'll meet me in Camden, Tennessee, and do the fighting rifle class with a pair of high point rifles.
I'm bringing my money Hawaiian shirt to GunCon now just for this, because I have to have one.
Bringing it anyway.
You're right, it was, but
right, don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
What are you going to include? Is it just the rifle? Because just goes back to a couple weeks ago when we were talking with John. Is there going to be
many magazines?
Are there going to be magazines?
Yep. Okay, so
what's the plan?
$500 price point. You're getting the gun. You're getting the magazine. That's it. No sights. No sling. No nothing else. Yeah.
All right.
You're getting a QD mount.
You're getting QD mount in the stock. That's right.
So
that's
I mean, there's something.
Yep. Well, and that's again.
If you get the chance, if you want to really up everybody, you get that handguard with QD mounts on both sides up front to go along with the QD mount in the back.
It's funny.
Or they already have it in there.
No, that's the thing. That's my personal pet peeve is I don't use the QDs. I use them out in the front more.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, have it up front.
Just the M-lock.
Put one. Get rid of maybe that last
M-lock
rail and throw a QD up there.
Oh, I already know what optic I'm putting on that. I mean, yeah.
And that's what, Garth. What is that? What are you going to use?
Oh, it's probably going to be a Gideon, because I have like 10 of them now. But it might be a Swamp Fox too. I don't know. We'll see. But
has the Gideon, that big XL one they talked about,
Mediator XL dropped yet? No, it has not.
But it probably might be a GunCon.
I bet we can get a couple of them. And a couple of rifles.
Now you got me thinking on something now.
Oh.
Yes. There you go.
I'm in danger.
Talk to those guys. Do a combo package. It's be a little more than $500. Get their optic, your rifle,
and I will spend my money.
That's the always funny thing. I think about that. Like if you offer, I mean, we've seen kit guns over the years. From seeing old school Bushmaster selling, a red dot that was. It was a red dot. It wasn't anything great, but also because you think years ago our budget red options pretty much sucked.
Well, it was Tasco or BSA.
Pretty much, yeah. My first was a Tasco on my AR. But I wonder now, like, if you offered a kit gun that was, sub $1,000, it came with a budget-friendly red dot. How many people would really go for that because the red dot's already there on it, or in the box ready to go with it?
Yep.
Throw 3 mags in, and I think. If you go buy a bolt action, like on the rifles, bolt action, I've always been a Savage fan. For the longest time, you could buy their deer rifles, the big game rifles. They came with a vortex on them. Why has no one done that on the AR side? Why has no one said, hey, here's our package? Yeah, you can go buy the one with nothing on it. Like, just offer it's a plain, here's just a rifle for the guys that know they're going to throw the stuff away anyways. Or, hey, for an extra amount, here's a nice, like, flatland, like a RDS sling, couple mags. Not, it doesn't have to be top of the line. If Optics Planet can get all those op mod optics that are missing half the features, why can't a gun company that knows they're going to sell a ton of rifles get them for cheaper and do that?
Yeah, I wish I had an answer for that one. I don't know. I don't know.
Or why has no one done it? Maybe somebody just needs to do it and watch. I bet if I'm not trying to twist your arm, but
I mean, with High Point, we do it already with High Point with our carbines or our PCCs. Yeah. You can buy red dot models, you can buy 4X scope models, you can buy forward gripped and laser models. I don't know why.
Got that beam on it.
I mean, and I almost
heat seeking laser grips. I've seen them.
And I wonder. It'd be fun to test this out on social media and see what kind of feedback that we would get.
If you could still have that. Here's the $500 package,
right?
But
here's one with an upgraded dot, and what do you charge for that if they're going to go for it or not?
It's no different. And because my wife hates it when I use analogies, but remember when every car came with a standard transmission and roll down windows, and all of a sudden, like, hey, you can buy the LS package that's got power seats and an automatic, like,
right?
And that became the norm. Like, why have you don't have to? I'm not saying like go put all this stuff on it and still charge $500, but why can't you go? It doesn't have to be an EOTech. It doesn't have to be a Vortex Razor.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's called it's a package for a reason. Like, you do the step up.
People wouldn't know the difference.
Well, my mind also goes to, it's funny because I posted kind of a comment on one of your Instagram reels kind of about this thing. Is like, dealers of, why don't the gun dealers even do it then too? They have the inventory sitting there. Why aren't they packaging it up? Like, I get it on my end as a manufacturer, like, yeah, we take stock in somebody's red dot, and then what if all of a sudden there's just a huge negative feedback on that red dot and nobody wants it ever? So then we can't sell the guns to distributors. The distributors can't sell them to dealers, or the dealers have got them, they're stuck sitting on them. Then damn, man, if you're a gun shop, an AR, dude, package the shit up to yourself and sell it to guys. They come in. Man, I want to get an AR. Here's a red dot for you too, man.
You mean like Silencer Central?
All right.
We almost made it the hour.
I had to do it. I was gonna bring it up. Sorry.
No, we were going to talk about this.
I'm sorry.
It just got brought up.
I couldn't help myself.
No, so again, allegedly, there's a lot of allegedlys being thrown around.
We don't have to talk about it.
Oh no, we are, because I wanted to talk about it.
Oh, good.
And clearly you did too.
No, you see, you since you showed up late, you missed.
I'm sorry. My screen actually. Okay, so
but anyways, as we go through, they had a don't throw a temper tantrum.
I did. I was throwing my remote that doesn't work. That's why I couldn't turn my monitor on. That's why I was late. I'm sorry. Now I'm done ranting.
But no. So for anyone who isn't aware, which I know all of our Rumble listeners probably are,
it's the only thing we have right now.
It is 100%. The rest of them got killed, which is fine. But no, well, that's when this goes live everywhere else tomorrow morning as we repost it. That'll be fine. Silencer Central, they may have been doing some shenanigans. And there's been some documents come out that kind of show, hey, if you read these documents, they're saying that they were paying lobbyists to ensure silencers stayed on the NFA. Which, now I'm going to say this, and this is the hot take, and I'm going to be real. From an economic standpoint, totally understand it. If your entire business model is selling cans, yep, I get it. Like, from a business economics standpoint, I can understand where you want to keep the status quo and move things down or whatever. But from a freedom-loving American concept,
I think you're wrong even on the business model. If all of a sudden everybody can just walk in and buy them like I can buy a High Point, you don't think their sales are going to go up? You don't think they can be like, hey, these are about to get unregulated. We're going to jack the price up $200 on every one of them.
The problem with it is
going to run in and buy them.
Their whole product model was based off of the mail order, where you buy it online and then you fill out the 4473 and they mail it to your door. Which there was some hoops you could jump through because it was an NFA item. So if they deregulate it to the point where it's like a standard firearm, you can no longer do that. Because it's not, you still have to do a background check then, which is so this is my thing. Like from the FFL standpoint, looking at it that way, where it's like, okay, hey, if we go to $0 tax stamps, which is what they were proposing, but keep them on the NFA, then they can keep their current business model and get the $40 convenience fee off of everyone and still make $40 off of them selling it, which I understand.
Taking enough economics classes, if you suddenly deregulate something and everybody can buy it,
get it,
you could get away with that a little bit of markup because everybody's going to be running. Now, like, here's the problem: you need to be bought if you want your suppressors and you think anything's going to go through. If you think the wait time right now sucks, wait till everybody's trying to buy one.
Yeah. If you guys say business,
they're going to be harder to get for the first 5 years they're off the NFA than they are right now.
If you guys say business economy or business as like one more time, I'm going to tell the story of the little puppy that could. Okay, it's been driving me nuts.
No, it's now the part or here's I watched what now the part puppy. I'm not sure on is will Form 1 cans be $1 or be $0? And like that is a good question. If you're going to manufacture yours at home, is it still a $0?
Right. Nobody knows.
Now, with that, I disagree with all of it because I think that we should be able to get mail order machine guns.
Yep.
Like that's my personal view.
Yep.
And I think that silencers are a safety device that should be taken off of the NFA.
It is the one thing that Europe doesn't care about that we do.
Yeah, but didn't the ATF even just brag that a bunch of their agents got suppressors for their hearing protection? It's like, what the fuck? You know? So jacked up.
It is. So, guys, vote with your wallets.
Yeah.
We shut down. We took out Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah. We took out Cheaper Than Dirt. Like Silence Essentials doesn't have that big of a market share. They probably don't live through this. Even if, like I told Nick earlier, they could throw $1 million the opposite direction, and I think the bad publicity's already got them.
Right.
Which sucks as a resident of the state they're operating in. They're building a new warehouse. They're expanding. They might not need it.
Yeah,
I drive by it all the time. Like,
but no, I do not agree with any of it, and it does not make sense. Guys, vote with your dollars. That's all I'm going to say about that. Don't support people who don't support you.
Call your representatives.
Yeah, seriously, call them. Call them, email them. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a jerk.
Is that still open for comment though?
So it's not.
Or did all of this magically come out after comments were done?
No, so it's still the House Ways and Means Committee was going to send it forth, but it also has to get still approved by the Senate Ways and Means, or Means and Ways, however it is. Yep. Yes, I am still mad at Springfield, Ruger, and Smith & Wesson. But after Bill Ruger died, they did start producing guns with bigger than 10-round mags. So, and that was the deciding factor on that. And Smith & Wesson went bankrupt and then got bought out. And that's what changed them. And Springfield had changed the leadership at the top. And those things happened. But I'll get off
Nah,
my
that-
pedestal on that.
No, that's a good take. That's a good take because I hate it when people cherry pick a couple brands and they don't go looking at Smith and Wesson and Ruger. But
All of them.
that's a
all
good
of
take.
them
Yeah,
is
yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
it. It's like everybody rips on Sig, but the Remington 700 had the same problem for how many years?
Yeah.
Right.
But
I mean, we could have a whole episode on the hypocrisy of the communities trashing whatever's needs to be trashed.
100%.
Mhm.
But also as we go through and talk about this, it's yes, the Senate is very much so looking at what is being said on X and the phones ringing off the hook. And there are even some senators who have stepped out and said things like the whole thing is unconstitutional. And like there are some politicians that are now kind of speaking the truth and going through everything because of the stink that we are making.
Okay, here's a fun one right now. This is current events. We have activist judges that are making national rulings from a state and district level. Who do we have to get this in front of that they can be like, no, just like the immigration stuff. No, we said this from our spot. It's a national rule. These are unconstitutional. Well, that's what the big fight is right now.
California would have to allow them before it went in front of St. Benita's.
But we have other judges that are making district.
I agree. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, that's the one judge who I have full faith would be like, nope, this is unconstitutional. And
after he wrote his own dissent on the other one.
Yeah. But no, there's a handful of them out there, but no, this is the long and short of it, guys. You need to be involved, and you need
get off your ass.
Join Guns of America, the Second Amendment Foundation. What other ones are there?
But you don't have to get off your ass. Just call your senators.
Well, but for some people, they go off your ass because some people don't call their senator. They need to call. I feel like I bitch it all the time too. Like
no, write them a letter.
Happy
sit
to
down, sit down and write them a letter. Because if you're not aware of how this works, there's a point system basically on how you talk to your representatives. Correct. If you just don't send them emails, it's like 1 point. If you call them, it's like 2 points. But if you like sit down and write a hand letter, like they take them more seriously.
And
don't put white powder in it.
I didn't know that. That's cool. But
that's the thing that kills me too. You can spam the emails. You can robocall. Very few people are going to sit down and write it. So they take those ones more seriously.
Don't forget that don't just do the form letter like that somebody puts out going, oh, do this and pick this where it's a pre-canned message.
Right.
Because that's like half a point.
Yeah. Sit down, write it.
Well, and the other thing too is if you're active and you're reaching out to your reps during the last administration, if you're being active then and you're not now because you're content with seeing the R's by somebody's name, you're an idiot. Like you shouldn't be 100%. Complacent. I feel like everybody was complacent in Trump's first term because we got Republicans in power. We don't have to do shit. No, you still have to do shit. They're not your friends. They work for you, and you'd be reminded of that shit. So whether it was Obama's era, Trump's first run, Biden's run, this run, you still need to be on it, on top of them.
Are faxes still a thing?
Just
faxes are real.
Apparently they are. Some other group that's attacking a school district, they just faxed blank sheets of black paper to the school district
to run them out of ink. Nice.
Oh, that's a dick move.
Don't do that to the government because we pay for it anyways.
Right.
That's why we pay taxes for ink. I get it.
I would prefer your taxes go to my ammo that I shot last weekend than to pay for the ink at the.
Where's my ammo?
Well, I mean, their ammo's not there either, so don't worry about it.
The ammo I shot in October was.
Well, no, I had a sheriff deputy buddy when he'd come out and shoot with us when he could. He'd bring this huge, just giant bag full of ammo. I'm like, what is that? And he'd be like, oh, department ammo. We're like, you mean taxpayer funded ammo? And he's like, yeah. And we're like, oh, cool, dude. We'd grab our mags, we start loading all our mags up. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I didn't pay for it. We're like, yeah, no, we did.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm going to shoot what I bought. Cool.
You should come out more often, brother, so we can shoot this shit.
No, I'll go back to what I was about to say. Like, give the NRA just a yearly membership, because whether we like them or not, they are the whipping boys that everybody from the other side attacks when we have the other groups doing all the work. Like I feel like we give them a bad rap because they've kind of accepted the role of, hey, we'll take the beatings while everybody else gets shit done.
Yep. I know a few board members that say exactly that. We know that we're the whipping boy now. We will take it. They're like, but dear God, people still need to support us. And I agree with it. I mean,
so that's my take on that.
I get that. I still hate that they're the standard for certain things, but
sure. But what else are you gonna do?
No, yeah. Well, yeah.
Join all of them. I mean,
absolutely. Like,
it's not that much money.
If you're a Second Amendment supporter,
cancel your Hulu membership.
Right?
Fuck Disney. A different gun membership or gun.
It's not gonna break the bank doing that.
Yeah,
it's really not.
That'll happen. But what we should really talk about before anything else gets brought up, and that is Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co for all your patch going needs, guys. Whoa, wrong deal. I looked at the wrong screen. Patch a Month Club is $15. But if you want to just buy individual patches, they have patches like this. Okay, guys. He who hath no sword, let him sell his cloak and buy one, especially since it's going to be a high point in the near future. Luke 23 or 22:36. There we go. So go out and support Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co for all your patch going needs.
Yeah. Get some.
Has
the patch of the month hit yet? I saw the preview.
I have not.
We have. Oh wait. Yes, Maze did come out.
Did it? I have not received
it's
mine.
the Eagle.
Oh no, I did. Yeah, it's a service one.
Yep.
Service member. Yep.
Sorry, I was looking
email,
for
but
fax
have you
numbers.
received it in the mail? Because I haven't seen one. Either I lost mine or I don't know what's going on.
No, I definitely I have mine. Yep, it was a service member one. I do remember that now.
But Dave, do you have anything to add before we start signing off tonight? Where can they find you? Where can they find High Point?
Oh yeah,
I mean, you want to find High Point? That's easy.
Dealers in the world,
right? Just go to highpointfirearms.com. All of our social links are there. We try to stay active on it, even though they hate us and they block us and they shadow ban the shit out of us. If you want to follow me, Instagram, Kawaka47, you'll figure it out. I'm tagged in some of the High Point stuff anyways. The High Point airs are coming. They're coming soon. The 995 pistol is out now. Get yourself one of those because those are cool little fun bag guns. They're not for the new gun owner. They're for guys like us like to have different things to screw around with because they're kind of like a large PW. But yeah, check them all out. Buy them all because they're all affordable. That's the point.
Right on. Garth, you got anything else to add tonight?
No, I'm super happy that Dave came on and talked to us yet again because what a cool dude. Thank you so much for coming on and talking all things High Point because, again, like I said, High Point making an AR. Guys, if you are a true gun enthusiast like myself, I'm going to own one. I know Nick's probably going to own one. I think Joe's probably going to own one. I know we're all probably going to own one because
I may need that 10.5-inch 300 blackout.
Okay, you can get the 300 blackout. I'll take the pistol. Nick can have the 16-inch. Everyone's happy.
There you go.
Like we automatically assume I'm going to take the rifle.
Were you not?
I mean, that's beside the point.
All right then.
That's awesome.
How dare you say things that are true? Joe, do you have anything to add before we start to bounce out of here tonight?
Yeah, check out High Point. Check out Dave on the social medias. Check us out. Remember, share, comment, all that stuff. Go ask Facebook and YouTube why our feed got shut off tonight, and then when they respond, tell them that's the dumbest thing you've ever heard. Go bully these people into letting us have our free speech.
Yeah, those commies.
Amen.
The more we stand up and the more we support each other and get rid of the infighting within the community.
Oh my God. The worst.
Ridiculous. I mean, the comments we get just for some of the stuff we got from Patton's show. I mean, there's one that really doesn't like us. Yeah. Go out, be vocal. Let's be louder than the idiots on the other side.
Yeah.
Yep. And
we're awesome. They're not.
Everyone here knows what I'm about to say. That's folks need to go out and get training. Get medical training. Expect to self-rescue. and remember that you are your own first responder. And with that, you folks out there, you stay safe and stay armed.
Thanks for listening to the AR-15 podcast. Check us out on all our social media. AR-15 Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. AR-15 Podcast 2.0 on Instagram. If you want to send us a question, rant, or suggestion, email us at AR15podcast2.0@gmail.com. That's the number 2, period, the number 0. If you want to be part of the daily conversation, you can find us at Discord, AR15 Podcast. Don't forget to check out dangfree.net. Sign up is simple and free, and you can communicate with us, other podcasters, and you, the listeners. Lastly, check out all our sponsors: Patriot Patch Company, VZ Grips, Clacker Tactical, and Sticker Family.